Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Talking Packers with Steve. I've been away for a while. I did some political videos of that short the podcast, and um, bringing this one back. Free agency, the craziness has been going on for a couple weeks now, or at least a full week. Um, I was gonna do this last week, but things and situations came up and wasn't able to. But today I have time and the ability to talk everything about free agency and not just the Packers, but all the teams and all the NFL moves from Afritake, Brock Osweiler, and many others. I have a full list here that I'll be going through to make sure I don't leave any team out or any players out that have been signed or re-signed back to their teams. Interesting as it always is with the Packers and Ted Thompson that we don't dip our toes into free agency as much as other teams. Excuse me, not saying that we're the only ones that don't do that. There are other teams that are more of the sit back and wait kind of teams. I know Baltimore was. They made a couple of moves here in the last couple of days, but not too many. Nothing as much as the other teams have. I wouldn't say it's desperate teams because all teams try to rebuild and become better. And it's the beginning of any season. Everybody's 0-0 and have a chance to become Super Bowl champions. you know, you go from there. But with free agency and the start of the league year, and you never know if you get that right person, that one free agent, can turn your team around, not just for that year, but for a franchise moving forward. Just think of for the Packers. For the Packers, when we were able to land and get Brett Favre and Reggie White in the same off season. Brett Favre from the Atlanta Falcons after his rookie year, and 1 year they were in Atlanta, and Reggie White from his years with the Philadelphia Eagles, and how our team built upon that and became the team that we know today. From that time, and then from there, drafting Aaron Rodgers in the draft and truly being the team that we are today with Aaron Rodgers. But I mean, with Brett Favre and Reggie White, building our team for the '90s for that time period. Because before then, the Packers weren't anything to care about, anything to write home about. Um, I don't remember that part too much because I was really young. But my mom tells me back when she was in college in those years, and a little and after, before 1992, pre 1992. Um, now the Packers weren't the let's just say you go into every season, they weren't the team that you thought that had a high chance probability of winning the NFC, winning their division, winning a Super Bowl like they are now. And ever since Brett came in the fold, and not only coming in the fold, but back home we're gonna have a chance and sticking with them after Patrick Mahomes gets injured and Brett comes in to start. Mike Holmgren having faith in Brett, and that really paying off. The Packers having the years that we had. We might have only one Super Bowl championship to call for, so they'll never take away from us. But we did have a lot of good years there with Favre, Reggie White, and others. A part of those teams in the '90s, mid '90s to late '90s, and beyond. And then after Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and the teams constructed since then, we've been really lucky in that way. But usually in free agency, Ted Thompson or back then Ron Wolf didn't really want to or care to go crazy or gung ho in the first few days, in the first hours, 24 hours, or whatever the free agency, the opening of the year, and we wait our turn, or wait our time. And if we think that there are viable players that we are interested in, or as Ted Thompson says, he's interested in everybody. It's the degree of interest that's begs the question. But um, but we wait our time, and we see if later on that we want to pick somebody up, if we want to sign somebody, we just wait a little longer and see if they take pay cut to come to Green Bay. But some of these players really just want to get the money and wherever team they go to. Because think about why would Colin Kaepernick be saying, "Oh, I want to go to the Browns"? He just wants to get the most money. He knows a team like Cleveland that's really desperate for need of a quarterback will pay him more money than a Denver Broncos or a Green Bay Packers or any other team that doesn't need a starting quarterback. But then again, I shouldn't say that Denver is in need for a starting quarterback. But you know what I mean. That's some players are more out for the money because if they weren't, you'd wonder why some of these players are going to some of these teams. But as I always do, looking at the flip side, how can a team get better if nobody comes to that team? So there's that too. But because you want to have competitive balance in the entire NFL, so you don't see the same teams in the playoffs every single year. That you have that economy of turnover and the turnover there in the playoffs, meaning turnover of teams. Uh, Ones ever in last year that are not in this year, new teams in the fold. Now, two of those teams I'd like to see in the fold in the NFC side this year's season would be the Buccaneers and the Rams, Los Angeles Rams. And in the AFC, the Jaguars and the Raiders. Both teams moving on up, positive direction. And we'll talk about the Raiders a little bit more as we get into this episode with talking free agents. But like I said, specifically with the Packers, we usually wait unless it's like we really have to get like a super need. That maybe we do something in the first few hours or day of the free agency craziness, or the free agency frenzy as it's called. So let's take a look here of the free agents here at the quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins re-signing with the Redskins. That makes sense. Okay, $19.995 million deal. Brock Osweiler, as I said, signed 4-year contract with the Houston Texans. Matt Schaub moving to the Falcons, 1-year deal. Tanner Orlovsky, interesting to see here. He re-signed with the Lions. Matt Cassel going to the Tennessee Titans, signing a 1-year deal. And Scott Tolzien, former Packer, um, now going on to the Indianapolis Colts, signing a 2-year deal with the Colts to be a backup there, a full-fledged backup. Because in Green Bay he was a third string. There he actually was out to be the backup, and you never know with Indianapolis if Andrew Luck will have the luck to play all 16 games of the regular season. Matt Forte signing with the Jets. Doug Martin, 5-year deal to stay in Tampa Bay. Chris Ivory going to the Jaguars, so big deals all around. Trying to see if there's any other big name ones. Darius Hayward Bay, re-signing with the Steelers. Colby Fleener was interesting, signing a 5-year deal with the Saints. Staying with Indy. You have to wonder what was going on there, if there's any issues between him and the Colts. Jermaine Gresham staying with the Cardinals. As you can see, a lot of these are with teams out. Donald Penn re-signing with the Raiders. There's a lot of big movers and shakers of teams and of players moving to different franchises, seeing how things will work out in that way. Loriano re-signing with the Lions. BJ Raji, who retired for the Packers. That's one thing I forgot to say when I was talking about the Packers. But Packers still have a lot of free agents out there in the markets, and wonder if we'll be able to re-sign uh, really any of them. I know we already lost one of them. Bruce Irvin signing 4 years with the Raiders. So all these Oh, Chris Long going to the Patriots. Nick Perry we did re-sign. 1 year, $5 million deal with us, the Packers. So, all these movers and shakers and big moves and big things going on, it makes free agency very interesting. It's very interesting to me. This is the most interesting time of the year, not the most wonderful, but most interesting because free agency you really get to see what a player is all about. You know, if they really want to try to find or be fit with a team that championship material or not. Now those are for some things are done in trades where they didn't really have a say. Like let's say if Colin Kaepernick gets traded to the Browns, not he signs with the Browns. So situations are different. I understand that, but I'm just saying in general, with the ones that are unrestricted free agents that can just choose where they want to go, you wonder why they would choose one team over the other team, and if they really practice what they preach and saying that they want to go to the championship team and they want a chance to win the Super Bowl and all this other stuff, and you wonder sometimes why they go to whatever team. But I think two teams or four teams, these free agents should really look into that aren't the top tier teams already, like the Patriots, Broncos, Packers, excuse me, and others. But I think the four teams that these many free agents that are left should look into and talk to are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Los Angeles Rams, Jacksonville Jaguars, and Oakland Raiders. And all those four teams moving on up, I think they have bright futures, and I think, even though I know I said this last year, but I guess I'll at least say one more year here for the 2016 season, 2016-2017 NFL season, that all four teams are going to make the playoffs. I'm going to make that bold prediction right now here for this upcoming season. Let me say it again. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Los Angeles Rams, Jacksonville Jaguars, and Oakland Raiders, all four are going to make the playoffs. Two in the NFC, two in the AFC, of course. Because I think they, from the moves that the Raiders have, Don Jackson was signed a couple of good people as well. I just haven't seen them in my list that I was looking at that I got online. Buccaneers re-signing some of the players, picking up some Los Angeles Rams. Yeah, they lost Christopher Long, but gained a couple others in the process. You win some, you lose some. Every time I have to deal with that. It's a business. But I think those four teams will make the playoffs in 2016. That's going to be my proclamation, my prediction already for that. And when I do have my episode, the one that previewing Week 1 of the 2016 NFL season, and the Week 1 matchup for the Packers and the whole NFL, and I do my predictions and all that other stuff that I did the last 2 years. That episode specifically, I will do my predictions for the entire playoffs for the 2016-17 season. Who I think is going to make the playoffs, who I think are going to be division winners, records for all 32 teams, my Super Bowl pick, and maybe even prediction of a score for the Super Bowl as well. So I have something that you guys, the viewers, and myself can hold accountable for me and to go back to at any time during the season to see how things are shaping up and if my predictions, at least with playoffs and the record wise, are somewhat coming true or an absolute mess and I was wrong on every point. But I still enjoy it. So do that because that's the great thing about having a show, giving your opinion. Would be my opinion of all those things. So that will be the episode where I do all that. Like I said, here I'm talking free agency. Next week, more about NFL draft. About the NFL draft, I will be giving my Week 1 predictions for that. Or not Week 1, Round 1. I apologize. Round 1 predictions for the NFL draft, so I can be held accountable for that. And others are welcome to join that episode to give their predictions for the Round 1 of the 2016 NFL draft. And the draft is in Chicago again. Chicago, Illinois, home of former WWE superstar CM Punk and others. But um, I think I might be able to go there. Might be able to attend the NFL. They're in Draft City or Draft Town, whatever they call the stuff they have for the fans there. So heck, I might even be able to have an episode live there from the festivities the week of the draft. If not, maybe a special episode on draft night or during the day. However, we'll see when we get to that point. But I think this show has a lot of potential. I've grown in numbers with the Facebook fan page. Welcome to like the Facebook fan page. Just search on Facebook, "Talking Packers with Steve." And it should be the first thing in that search in the search results, I guess. As it drops down as you type. Should be the first one there. "Talking Packers with Steve." And we'll like the page, share your thoughts, post things there. You're welcome to post whatever you like with the NFL. And I hope maybe in the future to have a co-host, and I have the Twitter handle at talking_Packers. You're welcome to follow me there. Obviously, subscribe to the YouTube channel. But so far, um, the main place for fans of this show and NFL fans in general, when dealing with this podcast, is the Facebook fan page. I've seen that going up actually a little bit in the last week, as I've been getting closer here to this episode, and I was supposed to have it last week because I promoted, but like I said, that wasn't the case. But I'll post this episode there, and like I said, welcome to become a fan there, and share your thoughts, and maybe even join an episode in the future. Excuse me. But that pretty much should do it for tonight. I mean, like I said, I was going in depth there with the free agency. I don't want to read every single one because that just get boring. But big movers are Shaker Brock Osweiler going to the Houston Texans. I mean, that's huge, very, very big, and very shocking to me. I thought Brock Osweiler was going to stay with Denver. He was going to be loyal to the Broncos. Now his time to shine. He got to play and was starter for a while there last season because of Peyton Manning injury, but then he was pulled right away, or seemed like right away. Peyton Manning came back, and I thought maybe even though there seemed like there was animosity, that was just blown up by us in the media, whether paper media or digital media. Either way, that's what I thought or assumed at that time. Maybe there's a bit more to it then and there than to what I assumed at that time. Maybe Brock and the Broncos, had an issue there and it just wasn't able to be fixed. And he decided to go to Houston, thinking, grass is green on the other side, kind of thinking. And Houston has a track record of trying to pick up quarterbacks that are untapped potential, thinking that they're going to find that diamond in the rough kind of quarterback and player that they but hasn't worked in the past. Will it work with Brock Osweiler? I don't know. It could. You never know. He could be the exception to the rule. You know, but the definition of sanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Houston's trying to do the same thing over and over again, expecting different results when they pick up these free agent quarterbacks that have barely started or haven't even started in the NFL. But I can't hate on Houston picking them up. It's a smart business decision, and they did need a quarterback, but just with their track record of the past, maybe they might have should have stayed away from that. And maybe Brock should have stayed away from that. Maybe Brock should stay with Denver, whether taking a pay cut or however or whatever John Elway would have asked him to do. He would have been okay, fine, being loyal to Denver, wanting to stay in Denver. But I guess there was more animosity there between the organization and Brock Osweiler than met the eye. To each his own, because we're not going to ever know about it because they're both teams are both parties in that situation are moving on. Gonna have to, it's a business. And for Jay signing, it wasn't that surprising where he went. I mean, we had an outside chance of thinking, or at least as Packer fans, Packer Nation, thinking that maybe he would come to Green Bay if he would have still stayed a free agent up to now, really, at today's date. Here on St. Patrick's Day, it's also Happy St. Patrick's Day to those that celebrate. I kind of wish I had me here on the show to see to hear his thoughts with the Colts. I mean, heck, the Colts. Hey, you're your team there, buddy. As a former Packer now. Now I know he's not like a starter or anything that's going to contribute a lot to your team, but he's still a member of your team as a backup quarterback. And the way that your offensive line has been, at least this past year, you might be playing sooner than you think. I just, me every year at the start of the free agency stuff and the league year and all that stuff, I get excited. I look forward to it. Now the next step is to look forward to the NFL draft and seeing teams building from there. Because there are some teams like the Packers like to build to the draft more so than building through free agency. No harm in that, right? Let me try to check here, see if I can find any other. Frank Zombo, remember Frank Zombo, Packer fans? Re-signing 3 years with the Chiefs. Quentin Coples signing a 2-year deal with the Rams. And Danny Trevathan, another player that the Packers thought maybe we would have been able to pick up, signing a 4-year deal with the Chicago Bears. So he's coming into the NFC North, just not with the Packers. But I thought there was an chance to maybe get him Super Bowl champion Trevathan. I'm sure Glass of Team Point TV Live and Get With It Sports, friend of the show, so I think he was resigned to the fact that they were going to lose Trevathan. But I would wonder what he would think of Trevathan going to the Bears than the Packers or any other team. I'll have to ask him that later. Casey Hayward, the one Packer that we lost, signing a 3-year deal with the San Diego Chargers. Prince Amukamara going to the Jaguars, one of the good signings for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And another one for the Raiders. Sean Smith signing a 4-year deal with Oakland. Excuse me. Eric Weddle signing a 4-year deal with the Baltimore Ravens. I know JB of Team TV Live might be interested to know that, even though I'm sure he already does. Just trying to see here if there's any other big movers and shakers. Mason Crosby re-signing with the Packers. So going through the kickers and punters here. Brad Norton, formerly with the Wisconsin Badgers, signing a 4-year deal with the Jaguars, formerly of the Carolina Panthers. Big news team. Oh, Lane Taylor re-signing with the Packers for 2 years, $4.15 million deal. which is going to the rest of the list there that I was looking at for, excuse me, for the free agency and pickups. So what's next? Now we get into the quiet stage of the free agency where not much noise going on. We have March Madness to keep us averted from NFL news. So maybe during these weeks of March Madness that some news might trickle in under or try to be under the radar. Maybe of Ryan Fitzpatrick signing with a team, or maybe Colin Kaepernick, or for the heck of it, Johnny Manziel signing with a team. Excuse me, even though I don't see that happening, I think he'll have to be out of the league for a year. Have to be a couple of the Browns, but you never know. But something like that, something that might have gotten bigger attention at a different time, or at the beginning of free agency, of course. With March Madness, might be able to try to get back burner, or they wait to have these big news during March Madness to take over the news cycle on SportsCenter Talk Radio or on radio at all, whether it's The Herd on Fox Sports, Mike in the Morning, ESPN Radio, or others. The NFL, being the king of sports. If there's anything happening, anything even a little bit big or of importance or interest of a signing, with free agency or trade, it's going to be the lead stories on shows. Like shows that I usually watch, like PTI, Pardon the Interruption, and First Take, and some others on some other networks as well. But I'm just saying, if something does come up here, then this week especially, with the start of March Madness, the end of this week and this weekend, I think it certainly would have enough to be able to be the lead in the story. Unless, unless a crazy thing happens and a 16 defeats a 1 seed, then maybe not. But since that probably won't happen, if any NFL news does break in a trade or signing of a player to a team, we'll be the lead there for sports of any kind, whether it's here or not, through a podcast or through on TV or radio or print, however, wherever. Because the NFL, drives the conversation. It's the number one sport in America for a reason. I'll stay on here a little bit longer, seeing if people are able to join in, share their thoughts, everything I've discussed here for 30 minutes. Also, while I'm waiting, I want to share that I do still do my YouNow broadcasts, but they're not as prevalent as they used to. Um, things going on and whatnot. I might not be doing that every single day as I hope to, Monday through Friday, but at least, at the very least, once a week. I try to do more of that. But I've got other things I'm doing. Being a part of Main Event Marks. I'm being a venture group member, team member there. This Sunday, I might as well promote, since this is my last YouTube video of my channel for this week. This Sunday on the Marks for Life YouTube channel. So check that out. Marks for Life, or Marks, the number 4, Marks for Life. The YouTube search, and then subscribe or check it out. The most recent video is the announcement of the fourth class of the Mark Hall of Fame, and that's where you'll see me and then many others, and my buddy Mike Cologne, who is a fellow co-host of Main Event Marks. But like I said, on Sunday night I will be on that YouTube channel, and I will be inducted into the Mark Hall of Fame fourth class. Um, so even here before that, I want to thank Steve Credo for for me to be part of that. Very honored, and I'm looking forward to being part of that of the ceremony on Sunday night. We don't know yet what specifically our time, but he is getting that all prepared, and that will be known to everybody very shortly. But again, that will be Sunday night, Marks for Life to number 4 Life here on YouTube, and then that will be Sunday night being inducted into the Mark Hall of Fame. Me and Marks fans of of pro wrestling, and being on Mark specifically, whether it's Smart Mark or just Mark, period. Um, very highly invested, very interested, very passionate, talking professional wrestling and understanding the ins and outs of pro wrestling, and you know, so even with that, even just being a Mark and now being honored to be part of the Mark Hall of Fame, very honored and looking forward to that ceremony on Sunday night. So again, I'd like to thank Steve Credo for the Marks fan page on Facebook first off, and the high honor of being now named part of the fourth class of the Mark Hall of Fame. And so again, that'll be Sunday night on that channel. So you're welcome to check that out to see me on yet another channel doing another thing there. And even there, I'll be dressed up. I'll be looking better, or I don't know, just dressed up for that because that's it's a Hall of Fame ceremony. So you know, dress to impress, to be the best. But looking forward to seeing how May and March go moving forward. Here, since I have a couple minutes waiting for it, if people are able to join in. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna check something out here on Twitter. Twitter the best place to get your news, right? But yeah, excuse me. Seeing if there's any breaking news in the NFL. People always worry. Just something that I was just thinking about. People always worry about things. Either it's something in the show you're watching being spoiled or whatever, and you're on the Twitter feed. The easiest way to do that is when you sign in. Just go all the way over to your notifications and just stay there. That's where I stay most of the time, under my notifications, so I don't have to worry about being bombarded in the unless they're tweeting at me about something, whether it's March Madness or a program that I might have to miss or whatever. Actually, I'm gonna try to find the Mark Hall of Fame announcement and see if I can be able to share that here. I know this is an NFL show, but maybe not. But like I said, it should be on Mark's number 4 life YouTube channel, and that'll be Sunday night with the ceremony. We'll check out the past ceremonies to see what you're in store to watch on Sunday. And like I always say, you're welcome to subscribe to the channel. Check out the Facebook fan page because I know that's it's really been on the popping lately, or new people liking it. Ever since we're starting to promote again for this season. Hopefully we can grow that, get you know Twitter followers, get to a certain amount by the start of the season. Facebook fan page likes and all the other stuff, and that not just for the number count, but even more so to have more people to be able to be part of the conversation, talk NFL, talking Packers, talking the sport that we love to talk about. And I know millions and millions of other NFL fans love to, yeah, excuse me, love to talk, be on a platform, be able to talk NFL, be able to talk the sport. And there's the best of all. Hmm. I was just talking to someone. He might be able to join my friend John, fellow Packer fan. Might be able to jump on and talk a little bit of the Packers, a little bit of free agency. So I'm just gonna wait here a little bit till if he is able to join in the conversation. But anyways, what team do you think is doing the best so far in free agency, and which team do you agree with me with the four teams that I said, given my prediction of who I think is gonna make the playoffs for next year, new team? I really do think, especially I think even more so the Raiders and the Jaguars, might be one of the new teams in the playoffs this upcoming season. They really are in. Well, I think I'm just gonna end it here, and I think everybody that was able to watch live and others watching archive, I apologize for the pauses. I thought to be able to get what to take here, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll be back next week with Steve's Wrestling Ramble on Tuesday night. Talking Raw here on the road to WrestleMania. 2 weeks left on that road to WrestleMania. and then talking Packers moving forward here all the way to Super Bowl 51. So welcome to join me in the journey in the road to Super Bowl, let alone for the road to WrestleMania. But as always, take care.